C into plus N, where C is constant and N is representing number of elements in the array. So this is the sorry. This is the representation of merge sort. This is merge sort representation. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So this is, I'm writing, this is the merge sort representation. This is merge sort representation. Now, if you are sorting a set of numbers using merge sort, so these will be steps of merge sort. So this merge sort, it just consists of two steps. Steps of merge sort. It just consists of two steps. This is step 1. What is written in step 1?
So divide the array into sub-arrays in such a way that each array should have a single element.
Yeah, so this thing you are doing, you have a list of elements. So just two steps you are doing, and in the first step, you are dividing the array into sub-arrays. And this division you are continuing. When will you stop the division? If each array has how many elements?
Single element.
Single elements. It means that initially, if in the array 10 elements were there, then how the division will take place? In the array initially, if 10 elements were there, Avijit Vishwakarma, then how the division will take place?
So first, we will divide it into 5 and 5
So
arrays.
10 elements are there, then divide it into 2 elements, 5 and 2 parts, 5 and 5. Then take first 5, you divide it into 2.
2
so
and 3.
You will have 2 and 3. Then take this 2 elements, divide it into 2. Then 1 you will have. Next is 3 elements. You divide those 3 elements into 2 parts. You will have 2 elements and 3 elements. And further 2 elements and 1 element. And again 2 elements array. You divide it into 2 parts. And keep on dividing the array into sub-arrays. When will you stop?
So when it will become only 1 element array.
1 element array. It is just like you start dividing the countries of the world. Keep on division till each country has only 1 person. So how many divisions will be there for our country, India? If population is 135 crore. So 135 different divisions will be there. And in each division, how many persons will be living? कितने लोग रहेंगे हर डिवीजन में, हर कंट्री में?
1%.
Only 1 person. हाँ जी, अभिजीत विश्वकर्मा जी. How many persons in each country?
So at last it will be 1.
1 person in each country. So that is step 1. So we don't need to divide the country. What we need to divide? We need to divide the array.
Arrays.
And you see, so this is step 1. In step 1, we divide the array into sub-arrays in such a way that, or till that, each array after division will have how many elements? Only 1 element. And why we are going for this one? Because you see, if in array 1, only 1 element is there. Is it sorted? That element is sorted or not sorted?
Yes, sir.
Amaya Suhas, you have only 1 element. You have one note of rupees. So rupees 500. So that note is sorted or not?
Yes, sir.
And your colleague Aman Pandey, he has a note of rupees 200. So when the note is with him, so is it single note, Aman Pandey? So is it sorted or not?
Yes, sir. If he have only one, then it's sorted.
It is sorted. And suppose Prem Anand, he has just one note of 100 rupees. So that note is 100 rupee note, that is sorted or not?
Yes, sir. It's sorted.
It means that if in the array, if only one element is there, then what would you say? That the array with one element, is it self-sorted or it is not self-sorted? What will you say? Is it self-sorted or not self-sorted?
Self-sorted.
It is self-sorted. So same thing we are doing. So array step 1, it says that divide the array into subarrays in such a way that each array should have one element. It means that each array, after having only one element, it will be considered as self-sorted. Now next is step 2. Amya Subhas, you read step 2.
So step 2, merge the sorted array one after another and implement sorting approach while performing the merging task.
Yeah. So in step 2, like how many rupees note you are having?
For now, I am having 500.
Kitni note hai?
Abhi
Only
koi-
one note.
Yes, sir.
And Aman Pandey has
One note.
one
Okay.
note of
200.
200. And Prem Anand has?
Preman. Sir, I don't remember how much number you gave him.
You are always busy in mobile phone. Does it happen?
No, sir, I was writing. I'm so sorry. I didn't notice.
So
I
you have
think
single
it was-
processor. Now in these days, this is the time of dual or quad processors. So thoda processor बढ़ाइए. Prem Anand, how many rupees do you have?
Sir, one note of 100 rupees.
Very good. So Amya Subhas, 500 rupees. Prem Anand, 100 rupees. And this Aman Pandey, 200 rupees. Now, Premanand, I know when these notes are with each of you, so it is sorted. Now, what I want that all these 3 notes should be together with me. I am person B. Next person. And when I am having these notes, then I want that these notes should be sorted. So what should I do? I should merge Amya Subhas and Premanand money together first. Amya Subhas.
Yes,
So
sir.
your money is 500 and Premanand money is 200, is 100. So I should merge these 2 notes. And whichever note is smaller, that should come. That should come first.
Yes, sir.
So 500 you have, 100 Premanand has. I am combining these notes together. So after how many comparisons, I will be able to say that, okay, first 100 and then 500. After how many comparisons?
Sir, one.
One comparison. 500 is compared with 100. So whichever is smaller, if 500 is more than 100, so 100 I will take. If 500 is less than 100, then 500 I will take. I will store as first one, and next will be the second one.
Yes, sir.
So now in the list I have 100 and 500. Now Aman Pandey ji, कितने की नोट आपके पास है?
200.
मुझे लगा आप पैसा लेके भाग गए. 200 रुपए दिया हमने और आप लेके भाग गए, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं. चलिए. Now you merge your 200 in this note. Now we have 2 lists. Initially 3 lists were there. 500 first list, second list was having 100, third list was having 200. So I merged 500 and 100 together. So when I merged 500 and 100 together, so this list 1 now became, it has 2 elements. First element is 100, second element is 500. And second list, that Aman's money, Aman Pandey's money. It is 200. So first list has 100, 500, and second list has 200. Now, Aman Pandey, I am merging these together. So how should I merge and how many comparisons will be required? बोलिए, पैसा लेके भागिएगा नहीं.
So one comparison, two comparisons.
Very good. So 200 will be compared with, means first element of list 2. It will be compared with the first element of list 1. First element of list 2 is 200. First element of list 1 is 100. So 200 is compared with 100. And 200 is more than 100. So after that, 200 will be compared with 500. And 200 is less than 500. It means that the money 200 rupees, it should be kept somewhere between 100 and 500. This is one way. Or another way is that you have two lists. First list has, you have two lists. First list has 100 and 500. And second list has 200. So say first list is A0, A1. And second list is just B0. I'm repeating again. First list has A0, A1, second list has B0. So you compare A0 with B0. Which one is smaller? A0 and B0. Aman Pandey, which one is smaller?
A0.
So A0 is smaller, so whichever is smaller, keep it in C0. So store A0 in C0, increase C0 by 1, so it will start pointing to 1, and increase A0 address by 1, so it will start pointing to A1. Now first pointer is pointing to A1, second pointer is pointing to B0, because you did not increase the pointer of B0. Whose pointer will be increased? Aman Pandey. Whose pointer will be increased?
And C0.
So why I increase the pointer of A0? Because A0 was stored in C0.
C0.
So whichever value you store, either A0 value you store or B0 value you store, whosoever value you store, you increase it by 1. Since A0's value I stored in B0, so I increased A0 by 1. So it started pointing to A1. And since it was stored in C0, so I increased the C0 by 1. C0 started pointing to C1. So you have now B1, A1 is there and B1 is there. Now you are comparing A1 and B1. A1 is how much, Aman Pandey?
500.
A1 is 500. And how much is there in B0?
200.
So A1 is compared with B0. So which one you will store in C1?
200.
A1 you will store, or yeah, it is B0. So B0 you store in C1. And now increase the value of C1 by 1, so it will start pointing to C. It will start pointing to C2. Increase the value of B0 by 1, so it will start to point B2. So it will start pointing to B1. So array B is over, because array B was having how many elements? Only one element, 200. And array A, it has left only with how many elements? One element. Now, if once this process is over, then the remaining elements, either one of these will be vacant, and one of these may have few elements. So since B is vacant, so leave the elements of B. And now remaining elements of array A, now you copy in array C. So how many elements were left in array A?
1.
So you copy now 500 in C. So this is the process of implementing. This is the process of implementing merge sort. Here I have shown किसी और का हेल्प ले लें, वो जरा एक्सप्लेन करिए क्या हो रहा है. Aditya Raj, you see the screen?
Yes,
You
sir.
see the screen. This is array A. Array A has how many elements?
6.
6 elements. The elements are 10, 20, 50, 30, 60, 70, 50. Which number is repeated 2 times?
50, sir.
So in the next stage, what are we doing? These are 6 elements or 7 elements? मुझे कम दिखा है, मुझे लग रहा है 8 elements हैं. These are 6 elements or 8 elements?
6, sir.
This array A, I am now increasing. शायद मुझे लगा कि मुझे ही कम दिखाई देता है, लेकिन आपको तो मुझसे भी कम दिखाई दे रहा है. Elements हैं.
7, sir.
The next stage, what are we doing here?
Sir, divide the entire array in 2 parts.
2 parts. So first array is having how many elements? Red color array.
Sir, it's 4, sir.
4 elements. And second black color array.
3.
And now here what are we doing? Let's have here, this has one type of color. Let's have this color, and let this has red color. So here what are we doing?
Here we are dividing it into 2 parts.
So the first array of red color, it is further divided into 2 parts. So when you divide it into 2 parts, 10, 20, they will come together. 50, 30, they will come together. Now second array, 60, 70, 50, you divide it into 2 parts. So 60, 70 will come together and 50 will come together. Now in the next stage, all red, what are we doing here? The previous element, first array has 2 elements, second array has 2 elements, 50, 30, third array has 2 elements, 60, 70, and fourth array has 2 elements, or only 1 element. So fourth array, it is self-sorted. So no division for fourth one. It is self-sorted. So first is divided into 2 parts, it will become 10 and 20. Second will be divided into 2 parts, so it will become 50 and 30, 2 separate arrays. Third will be divided into 2 parts, so it will become 60 and 70, 2 arrays. And 50, it is self-sorted, so you keep it. Now, what are we doing? This is step 1 is over, because what we were doing in step 1, we were dividing the array into sub-arrays, and we will stop the division if each array is independently having only 1 element. Now, it means that at that stage, step 1 is over. Now we are moving to step 2. We are moving to step 2. We are moving to step 2. कोई एक जरा बता दे. Abhishek Pramanik, can you tell me what is happening in step 2? You see the first 2 arrows.
Yes, sir.
You see the first 2 arrows.
Sir, in step 1, step 2, we are making a division of 10 and 20.
We are making division of 10 and 20.
No, means we are making.
Are we dividing or we are merging?
Sir, merging, sir. Sorry, merging.
कभी कभी क्या करता है कि दिमाग कहता है कि डिवाइड मर्ज करो और मुंह से निकलता है डिवाइड करो. So you are merging here 10 and 20. So after how many comparisons they are merged?
The 1, sir.
And then you are merging 50 and 30.
Yes, sir.
First is 50, second is 30. So after how many comparisons? 30 will come first, 50 will come next.
Sir, 1.
One comparison. And then you are merging 60 and 70. So after how many comparisons? 60 and 70 will be merged together.
The 1.
And 50 you bring down as it is. So after merging, now how many arrays you have? Kitne array hain ye?
Sir, 4.
Very good. 10, 20 in array 1, 30, 50 in array 2, 60, 70 in array 3, and 50 in array 4. You have 4 arrays. Now what we are doing? Now you merge array 1 and 2. When you are merging 1 and 2, and then you merge 3 and 4. Merging 1 and 2, 30 will be compared with 10. 10 is less, so store 10 first. Then 30 is compared with 20. 20 is less, store 20. Then remaining elements 30 and 50. You copy here. Same thing here. Now in this stage here, how many arrays you have? For your bolde. Yeah, Aman Verma. Here,
Yes, sir.
how many arrays now we have?
Sir, 2 arrays,
2 array. Array 1 has how many elements?
4 elements,
Array 2 has how many elements?
3 elements.
So say that array 1, it is starting from A0 to A3. Yaad kariye. A0 to A3. And array 2, it is starting from B0 to B2. A0, A1, A2, A0, A1, A2, A3. This is array A. And next is array B. It is starting B0, B1, B2. You have to merge them together. Then just you tell that how will you merge, how the comparisons will take place, and then how the merging will happen.
Firstly, B0 will be compared with 50,
50 nahi bolo.
30, 30. मतलब A3.
I said array A. A0, A1, A2, A3. And array B. B0, B1, B2. B0 is 50, B1 is 60, and B2 is 70. You merge them together. So you merge them. So how the comparison will take place?
Sir, each of the elements of the B array will be compared to the elements of the first array and then would be inserted.
How? A0
like
is compared with whom?
A0 with B0, then A1 with B0, then
Wait kariye. A0 with B0. Which is smaller? A0 is 10, A0 is smaller. So you store A0 here. Now A1 will be compared with whom?
A1.
A1 will be compared with whom?
B0.
B0. So which is smaller?
A1.
So A1 is smaller, so store it here in C1. Now A2 will be compared with whom?
Again B0.
B0. So who is smaller?
A1, A2.
A2. So store A2 at the place of C2. And now increase value of A2 by 1. Now A3 will be compared with
B0.
So who is smaller? Less than or equal to?
Equal to, sir.
So A0 is less than or equal to, A3 is less than or equal to B0. So which one will you store? A3 or B0? As per your rule.
Sir, A3.
A3, very good. So A3 is less than equal to B0. So A3 you stored in C3. It means that the array C after storing, you have stored at C0 10, C1 20, C3 30. And you see, this is not another one. for example, and you see C010, C120, C230, and C350. Now, whose elements are still left?
B1, B2.
B0 is stored?
No.
So it means that all the elements of array B, they are still left. So you copy them, start from B0 and go up to B2. B0 copy, B1 copy, B2 copy. And after copying them together, now this is your list. So how many comparisons? किसी और से पूछ ले, number of comparisons here. In last step, Arundhati, how many comparisons in the last step?
So in the last step, we didn't do any comparison because the elements of A1 were already placed in order. So we just copied and pasted the remaining elements of B.
No, before pasting the elements of B, before going for storing B0 in C4, B1 in C5, B2 in C6. How many comparisons? Before that step, when we were comparing A0 with B0, A1 with B0, A2 with B0, A3 with B0, how many comparisons? Or A0 with B1, how many comparisons happened? Yeah, which were the comparisons?
The first, we compared A1 with B1, that one first.
First we compared A1 with B1.
Sorry, A0
then we
with
compared,
B0.
Then we compared A0 with B0. Then we compared A2 with B2. This comparison happened, no? What was the comparison?
The first A0 with B0.
Very good. Then
A0 was placed in order. Then A1 with B0.
Very good. Then
A3 with A2 with B0.
Very good. And then
A4 with B0.
And what you wrote in the condition?
And condition
AI is less than equal to BJ.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Or AJ is less than equal to BK if you take variable J and K. So any confusion in this merging?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Sure, because now we are directly moving to the algorithm. So you see, no confusion. So now you see the corresponding algorithm that we can have. That's it. Now, this is the algorithm of merge sort. You have the algorithm, the array, it is low to high, low and high, A low to A high, global array, and if low is less than equal to high, low is 0, high is n minus 1. You divide the array. This is dividing the array into two parts. You take the mid, divide the array into two parts, mid equal to load plus high by 2. So first array will be A0 to A mid, and the second array, first array will be A load to A mid, and second array will be A mid plus 1 to high. And you are calling this is recursive algorithm, you are calling the algorithm itself. So every time you are dividing the array into two subarrays. You are dividing the array into two subarrays. Every time this division you are doing. And when the division will stop, A0 to A mid and A mid 1 plus 2 high, again further division. So when this division will stop?
Sir, until any of the array fails.
Till if each array is having single element then you will move to the next step. Remember this merge sort function, it will be called again and again. And you will come out of this merge sort function, you will exit from the merge sort function. When will you exit? If each array has only one element. And after exiting from the merge sort function, you found that each array has only one element. Now this merge function you are implementing. How this merge function is implemented, this thing we will discuss in next lecture, because 10 minutes is not enough for this one. So today just we saw the algorithm, how to divide the array into subarrays in such a way that each array will have only one element. Just two things you are doing mid equal to low plus high by 2, and you are calling the function. So you are dividing the array into two subarrays. And each subarray will have only one element. This division you are calling. And if once each array has only one element, then you will move to the next one. That is merge function. You will move to the merge function. What will we write in merge function? We will see it in the next lecture. Any confusion to any one of you here?
No, sir. No, sir.
Till this time, no confusion. So rest of the things we will see in the next lecture. This much is enough for today. Now let me download the attendance and I will leave the class. Today I have continuous 2 classes, so I need some switching time. I have done, this is your downloaded attendance. You see your attendance. This is your attendance. You can see it. Now, thanks to all of you for this class. Now let's meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Lab people, tomorrow I will start the lab at 9 o'clock.
Sure.
Thank you.